Hey guys, so today I'm back with another Q&A video. I did one recently and it was a love and relationship focused Q&A, and I asked you on Twitter what sort of topics you guys wanted me to cover next in another Q&A, and it seemed that most of you wanted to see a university themed Q&A, so I asked on Instagram and also on Twitter for some questions, and I did get quite a lot, and I know that there are quite a lot of you guys that maybe didn't see that because I get a lot of questions sort of generally on like my vlogs and things. So I'm thinking maybe if you want me to do another one of these, I can always do one if I don't answer all the questions, because obviously there was quite a few. So yeah, we shall just get started with the Q&A. It's probably going to be a long one, so you might grab some coffee. I've got some coffee with me in my Starbucks mug, so yes, we shall just get started. First question, Chloe said, have you got any tips for Freshers Week? Love you. I love you too. So Freshers Week, I think no matter who you are, whether you find it sort of easy to be confident or not, and obviously Freshers Week you're going to be so nervous because obviously it's a new environment, you want to be as confident and as open as possible. I think it's a struggle for everyone joining university, like whether you're confident beforehand or not. It's obviously it's a new experience, you're dropped in a new situation that you're just so not used to, and you're very out of your depth and out of your comfort zone. But the best way to sort of make new friends is to be confident in Freshers Week, because everyone's in the same boat, so everyone's sort of hoping that someone else will maybe like be a little bit more confident, so just be that person. I know me and my flat, once we'd all sort of started getting comfortable with each other, we just ended up going around the entirety of our accommodation building, just chatting to people that we've never met before, because it just makes things a lot easier. So be as chatty as you can, even if that's not you, even if you are generally quite shy normally, just maybe fake confidence. That's what I did, and I'm now like a family with my flat, so just confidence and just be that person that's easy to talk to, because everyone is hoping that they'll find that person really. And also just have fun, don't worry about anything. Like, I know it is so scary. I remember how scared I was in Freshers Week, but Freshers Week is so much fun. I'm only in the second semester of my first year, and we're always saying how we miss Freshers Week, because obviously now we have deadlines and work and things. Nothing's ever quite the same as Freshers Week, and just make the most of it, enjoy it as best you can, go out to everything that like goes on at Student Union, because you will regret later on in the year not going to everything. Just making the most of the week while you have the chance to. It's so fun, honestly. It's like the best time. Libby asked, what uni do you go to? I actually get a lot of questions on this, and I just thought I'd address this sort of generally. I personally don't like to say specifically what uni I go to, purely because it isn't like the most well-known big university, so it's just sort of like a personal like privacy security thing, so I hope you guys understand. But I go to uni sort of kind of outside Manchester. Whenever anyone asks for like references in terms of where it is, the closest like big area that I can say is that it's Manchester, so it's kind of near Manchester, so if that helps. Tumblr Baddie Babe said, what should I expect when starting uni? How is uni different from high school? I was so scared, I think, starting university, because I just didn't know what to expect. I'm the first in my family to go to university, and obviously I've known people go to university and things, but it was always just quite an alien concept to me. I was so worried because I just didn't know what to expect. But honestly, when you hear people say university were the best years of your life, as long as you try and as long as you go into university aiming for that, then you're going to have a great time. Like, if you go into university sort of assuming you aren't going to make any friends and just sort of with a negative outlook on it, then you're not going to have the best time. But I went into it so open-minded and ready to make new friends and ready to make memories, and I have had the best few months of my life, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I know that I've managed to make lifelong friends just from being here for a few months, and it's such an amazing time. Honestly, it's like the best time I've ever had. I think the biggest difference that university sort of offers in comparison to like high school, college, secondary school, whatever, is the freedom you have. It can be quite daunting having so much freedom, but it's something you really get to cherish, and it's so nice. Just obviously adulting is scary, being an adult is quite a scary concept, but just having so much freedom to be you gives you the chance to develop yourself and grow as a person, and just learn things about yourself that you didn't realise that were part of you, and it's just amazing. So look forward to the freedom. It's very different from college and like sixth form and school, but it's a good different, at least in my opinion. I've absolutely loved it. Eleanor says, I'm a first year psychology student too, and although this may be boring to other people, honestly would just love to know what your favourite areas within psychology are. If you guys didn't know, I study psychology. I'm doing a psychology degree, and hopefully bearing in mind I'm only in first year, I'm hoping to go on to do a master's and a PhD. One of the things that I love the most about psychology, especially as a degree, is that it's such an open and broad topic and subject. You can do so many different branches. It's so early on in my degree that I don't actually have to pick like a specific field of psychology to go into. That's sort of more, I think, what you go into when you study masters. You get to pick which area within psychology you want to pursue. But I just love how broad it is, because psychology, if you didn't know, if you've never really looked into psychology, there are so many areas you can go into. So a lot of people I know are very interested in like the crime side of psychology, which is very interesting to me. There's also things like educational psychology and child development psychology. So there's so much, but honestly I think some of my favourite things so far that I've encountered just from being first year, I did a module last year on sort of the supernatural beliefs and things, which was very, very interesting to me. It was kind of like the psychology behind phobias and scary films, and just a lot sort of social phenomena that are considered quite supernatural and unnatural. It's just very interesting. And also distress and mental health is a module that I'm doing this year as well, which is very interesting. And at this current point, bearing in mind this might change because like I said, I'm very early on in my studies, I'm hoping to go down the clinical psychology route. I just love counselling. I did a counselling module last semester. I just love learning about the history of it and the different methods that are used. It's just so interesting to me, and the thought of being able to actually help people is such a great thought. So yeah, I just love psychology, if you can tell. He said, what's it like living away from home at university? Is it worth it? So if you guys didn't know, I'm from Essex and I go to a university sort of near Manchester, we'll say. So to get home, it's about a 4-ish hour drive. So 4 or 5 hours, depending on like driving or train or something. So it's quite far away, which means I don't get to go home often, and it kind of did put me off at first, considering I was so close to my family. At home it's just me and my brother and my mum, and we are so close, and obviously it's just daunting anyway moving away from home, because you're thrown in at the deep end, you're so out your comfort zone. But then I felt even more sort of afraid because it was so far away. But I just kept telling myself, like, I've gotten this far, I've worked this hard to get this far, and I'm not just going to half-ass it. So personally, the way I approach university, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. Fair enough if you feel more comfortable living at home. I think living at home, there are a lot of benefits, living at home and then going to university, like commuting. But obviously it wasn't really an option for the university I chose to. From living in university accommodation, I live on campus accommodation. For like the last few months, I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't imagine not living in this accommodation, because like I said, my flatmates have become my family, and I think there are a lot of perks to living in on-campus accommodation, because you do get to meet other like-minded students. And at first, I remember in Freshers Week, I was really scared because I was kind of hoping that I'd have someone else on my course in my flat. But then I met my friend Charlotte, who is one of my flatmates' girlfriend, and she does psychology, so we ended up sort of bonding over that. So that's always a bonus if you find someone else on your course. But it's also just meeting loads of people. I'm in a huge accommodation block, there's so many people, and like I said, in Freshers Week we just went around and met everyone, and I'm always meeting new people. It's just so much fun. So I think living away from home, it can be scary, but it also means you get the full experience of university, of meeting new people and being independent. And I'm quite an independent person anyway, so the freedom of living away from home, it was kind of nice. It was a nice shock. My camera shut off, so I apologise. I'm not sure where I got cut off there, but hopefully I made my point. Joy, Love, Happiness X says how to make friends. Similar to the Freshers Week advice, just be chatty and be nice. I've noticed since being at university that everyone's just so much more open and nice and friendly, because everyone's new at this. Like, everyone's in the same boat. No one's in their comfort zone. Most people I know, like, haven't come with a group of friends, so it's not cliquey or anything. The thought of moving into university, I was so terrified that I would like not know anyone, because I'm nowhere near the area. So I kind of just imagined coming to university and everyone already being friends, because everyone's from like the area surrounding the university. But in reality, everyone's just so happy to meet new people. It's honestly so much easier, I promise you. Whether you're shy, whether you're confident, it's so much easier than you think to make friends at university. So be yourself, because you're going to find people. There are so many people at university that you're going to come across and come into contact to. So you're going to find where you belong. You're going to find your people eventually. So even though it might be difficult at first, just honestly try it and make the effort. If you assume that you're not going to make any friends and go into it with a negative look, you're not going to have the easiest time making friends. It's going to be a lot harder. So just put yourself out there, and I'm sure you'll be fine. I promise you, you'll always have some support. Simply Karina says, how many classes do you take? So I'm obviously just doing one general degree. I'm just doing a general psychology degree, and then each semester I have 4 modules, I think. Last semester and this semester I had the 2 core modules, which was research methods and then like a general psychology one. So this semester it's cognitive and biological, and last semester it was individuals and society. And then the other 2 modules, each semester you can pick, so they're electives. The university did it was you can pick electives that aren't to do with your subject if you wanted to expand sort of just your knowledge, so you could take a language or something, but I stuck to the psychology like program approved ones, so I'm just doing like all the psychology. So last semester I did natural, unnatural and supernatural phenomena and introduction to counselling. This semester I'm doing distress and mental health and applied psychology, so 4 technically classes every semester, if that makes sense. And then so they each have lectures, usually 2 or 1 a week, and then I will have a lab class every week and then also a seminar every week. Seminars personally, they're kind of like a form group or like a tutor group, but you kind of get assessed on it, so it helps towards your grade of your core module. So in relation to the research methods module, so I have to do like psychological studies and things. I have to conduct my own studies and research and things in relation to the research methods lectures, so hopefully that kind of explained what I do. Daniel said, what's the best and worst thing about university? Oh, I've gushed about university so much, I can't pick a best thing. The best thing for me, obviously I know I've been very lucky. I know not everyone has such a nice experience at university, some people really struggle, but I know I've been very lucky and I'm very thankful that I've had such a lucky time and such an amazing time at university. So there are so many great things. I've made so many memories with these people that a few months ago were strangers I'd never met before. None of us are from the same area. It's just so weird to think how like I can't imagine my life without them now, because they're my family. We've made so many memories and had such a good time, so I can't pick a best thing, so I'm sorry about that. But the worst thing about university, I don't know. Oh, money. Oh, being an adult. I like to consider myself quite an organised person, quite an independent person, but no matter who you are, at some point you're going to struggle with money, food, just having to take care of yourself because it's so exhausting. How much work do you have to do at university? So, this is a question I get quite a lot actually. It's kind of dependent on what you study and what course like your university offers. So personally, my particular course at my university, I have 8 hours a week of in-uni lectures and lab time, so I only have 8 hours a week that I have to be in my lectures, whereas like Harry has about 24 hours a week, which is insane. So it varies in terms of like how many hours you have to do work in like uni, but even though I have such a low level of like lecture times, I have quite a high amount of independent study times, because psychology is all about journals, reading like background studies, conducting your own studies, taking part in studies. In terms of like assessments and things, psychology is pretty good because most of ours are exam based. So last semester I had, was it 3 or 4? I think it was 4 multiple choice exams, so that was fine. And then I also have like the odd essay and lab report as well. So I've already done my essay this semester, which was 1,500 words. I think I have another lab report. I had 2 brief lab reports that do like mini ones. They were only about 600 words each. And then I'll have a full lab report that I have to do once I've conducted my own research study, which I think about 1,500 words is there as well. And then I'll have, I think, 3 or 4 exams as well. So it's really not as much as I sort of expected, but again, it's sort of dependent on what you study, what your course offers. So if you are concerned about the level of work that you have to do at university, I'd look into the course at the university you're hoping to study at, because it usually tells you like how many hours you're expected to do a week. So they sort of tell you in advance. Caitlin Rogers says, how do you manage having a social life and keeping up with uni work? Well, I feel like it's actually kind of a lot easier than you think, especially if, like me, you become close with your flat. So I only really go out of my flat. I have other friends, but they're more like course mates, but my flatmates and I, we tend to go out, and it's actually kind of easier to say no than you realise. Before I went to university, my friend's sister actually said to me and some of my friends that no matter how broke you get or how busy you are, you will always find time to go out and get drunk, which is fair. We have probably admittedly gone out more than we should have, but I think when there comes to a point when you know your limit. So like I haven't really been out, I haven't really been drinking or anything the last 2 weeks because I've had my essays and things to do, but all that's done now. So this weekend I've gone out last night, I'm going out tomorrow or tonight as well, so you know, sort of, you can balance it and you can say no. Like, people aren't going to be asked if I don't go out, so it's okay, honestly. It's a lot easier than I think because everyone's in the same boat. Okay, so I think I've rambled for quite a while in this video, so I'm sorry if you didn't get to answer your question, but hopefully I did answer the kind of like the more popular, more common ones. Any more questions that I didn't answer and you want me to do another one of these, I'm more than happy to if you leave the questions in the comments, or if you want me to do like another specific Q&A, I already have a few ideas. I'm thinking I might do like just a personal tell-all Q&A if you guys want to ask me like personal questions, and also like a YouTube based one, so like tips on how to do YouTube and things. I'm thinking those sort of Q&As, I might do Q&As more, just sort of not like general ones, because I know they can be kind of quite boring to watch sometimes. Let me know if you have any more university based questions and you want me to do another one, or if you have like a topic that you want me to do a Q&A on, then I'm more than happy to do that. Just leave them down below. Also follow my Twitter and Instagram, I'll have those in the description and on screen if I remember, because I tend to ask on there, they're like the most common places for me to ask. And also Snapchat, because who doesn't love Snapchat? If you want to know more about my university life, I do weekly university vlogs on my vlog channel, and you guys seem to be really enjoying them. I kind of just show you my boring first year university life. It's not particularly interesting. But yes, thanks so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye!